take a look at Jenny Baranchik, the head coach of the Sooners in her 5th season. Spent 9 seasons as the head coach at Drake. She's been a finalist for National Coach of the Year 3 times, 4 consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament, Sweet 16 last year, couple of conference championships, and now 2nd year in the SEC. Last year, 27-8, 11-5 in SEC play. As we are underway, the Eagles with a quick turnover from Oklahoma, and they're headed the other way with it. Oklahoma in the whites, Coppin State in the dark uniforms. The Sooners, one of 2 top 10 teams in the field here this weekend, along with number 10, Iowa State, who we saw to start our quadruple header earlier today. 3 in the air, and good from Zaya Van, who averages nearly 9 points a game. And so a quick start for the Sooners.
And that first defensive possession by Coppin State was solid. They jumped out, they kind of matched up, they double teamed down on Beers, so she couldn't get an easy rebound, but then they came back down. You cannot just have such a great defensive possession and then allow just a wide open 3 for a good 3-point shooting team.
So the Eagles, talked about their tough schedule, but they were very competitive in the loss to number 13, Tennessee. Competitive early in that game. This team can play. Of course, going to be undersized here against the Sooners, but don't underestimate Coppin State's heart. Penetrating in is Shania Gamble, poked away, and the Sooners want to go. Peyton Verhulst inside to Beers, into the hands of Sahara Williams, and they work it up top. Beers down low, misses, gets her own rebound, and misses again. And the rebound cleared by Patricia Sosa-Lora of the Eagles.
And that should get you going and get you excited. Those are 2 misses from an All-American center right there. But Sosa-Lora, if she can just improve a little bit, it's putting a body on Beers and pushing her out and allowing someone else to get that rebound.
First 5 points to Zaya Van for Oklahoma. With the steal and the layup. So a quick start for the Sooners. This Oklahoma team, the 2nd fastest pace in the country so far this season. They are averaging 80 possessions per game. Paris McBride working around. Here's Morris. Back to Shania Gamble and taken away by Van. Zaya Van with the first 5 for Oklahoma. Chavez misses. And a 1 and done. Coppin State back the other way. McBride with the basketball, working against Aaliyah Chavez. Here's McBride losing the handle out of bounds. It was last touched by OU. I think Chavez got a hand in there.
If Coppin State can find some way to keep getting those defensive stops that they're getting, because Oklahoma's taken a few kind of rush shots, really quick, not too much offense being run, and if Coppin State can figure out how to grab those rebounds and come down quickly and score, they can stay in this game.
Penetrating in is Gamble. First shot for Coppin State. Van the other way, and Van doing it all herself right now. The first 7 points now for the sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma. There goes Gamble. Nice with the left hand off the glass and in. And Coppin State gets on the board. Pass down the floor to Sahara Williams, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Eagles.
And that is another thing that Coppin State is going to have to pay attention to. They need to get back as quick as they can.
Daryl Mosley in his first season at the helm with Coppin State. Spent the last 3 seasons as an assistant at Arizona State. Of course, they played Arizona State a couple of weeks ago. He also spent 6 years as a head coach at Division II Lincoln in Pennsylvania. They played Lincoln in their last game, or a couple of games ago, and that was their only win so far on the season for the Eagles. Morris over to Barnes, and a tie up. Possession arrow is going to favor Coppin State.
With a team like Oklahoma that likes to anticipate the pass, likes to do steals, is at a fast pace, Coppin State needs to be better on these first passes coming down. They need to start stepping into their fender and doing a V cutout.
Chavez on the turnover scores quickly for OU. Kyle Morris. Morris inside. And Verhulst has it for Oklahoma. Chavez over to Van, not this time. And an outlet pass is going to be too much out of the hands of McBride, and the Eagles turn it over.
And that's just the type of empty possession you don't want to have as Coppin State. They've had really solid defensive possessions where they are getting stops, they're getting those rebounds, they're not allowing Oklahoma State to get second chance opportunities. So instead of doing that long pass where you already had two Oklahoma players back, dribble that up, get into an offensive set, or do a quick down screen, get that guard open on the wing.
A little more than 4 minutes played here inside of Alico Arena on campus at Florida Gulf Coast University for this weekend's Geico Coconut Hoops, a terrific 8-team women's tournament. Offensive foul against number 21 of the Eagles, Sydney Burris. Coach Baranchik thinks highly of this Oklahoma team. She likes this team. Chavez pulls up from 16. It's a nice shooter's bounce off the back of the rim, and it falls through. And the Sooners out to a 9-point lead here in the early going against Coppin State. Here's Morris. Top of the circle, Morris. In and out it goes, and an offensive rebound by Burris. And in it goes, Aaron Henry off the glass. And draws the foul, and she'll shoot a couple of free throws.
Coppin State can use that to their advantage by driving and drawing those fouls.
4:57 remaining in the first quarter, just underway in our primetime matchup, the 9th-ranked Sooners.
Tennessee, they had 36 turnovers. They have got to eliminate those. Again, that long pass is another turnover that you just don't need to have.
So on the line for Coppin State is Aaron Henry. She averages about 7 points a game. Top 3-point shooter on this team for the Eagles. This is both free throws. Those are the things, if you're Coppin State, you've got to make the free throws.
Absolutely. I mean, from beginning to end, every free throw counts.
Down underneath. Chavez misses and tapped around into the hands of McBride of Coppin State. Working around to Henry, down the baseline, and loses the handle, poked away into the hands of Sahara Williams. Skip pass over to Chavez, Aaliyah Chavez with her first 3 of the game, averaging 17 points a game. She's a National Freshman of the Year candidate this year, a McDonald's All-American. So Chavez, a big piece of this Oklahoma puzzle. Back the other way, McBride, the senior, knocks down a 3 and answers right back for the Eagles.
If they can figure out a way to keep answering Oklahoma, either with a stop, a 3-point shot, anything like that, that is what's going to help kind of chip away at this lead.
Zia Lofton. Shot no good that time from Williams, and getting tangled up underneath. Foul against Culleton of Oklahoma, Beatrice Culleton.
And what a shorter team can do to their advantage is exactly what Sosalora just did right there. The taller player is reaching over you. If you keep that up, you're gonna get some of these post players in trouble and back to the bench.
So the official still talking to Coach Baranczyk. I'm not sure what the discussion is about, but the official and Coach Baranczyk looking at the video screen. And a perplexed look on Coach's face.
I don't think I've ever seen a coach and a ref looking at the replay.
Looking at the video. Let me take a look too, you know? So 14-5 in favor of the 9th-ranked Sooners. McBride. Here is Burris, and now Morris, the ball handler. Nice shield by Burris. Shot from Morris is short. Back to Chavez. Off the mark, Verhulst with the rebound, and into Reagan Beers. And back outside to Williams, who lights it up from long range. 17-5 OU.
That's unfortunately something that's going to happen when you're so focused on Beers and you're doubling down on her. Someone's going to end up be opening, but the best thing that you can do is just keep your hands in her face so those passes don't look as open as they are.
McBride. Layup rolls off the rim, and we're headed the other way. See Shania Gamble, number 25 right there. Transfer from LIU. Williams, and that's going to be a blocking foul against Gamble. That'll be the 3rd team foul against Coppin State here in the first quarter. And good call by the official, as Gamble was still in movement and retreating.
She was just a second too late on that. She did know and she saw to rotate over, but her feet kept moving, and that is why you're going to get called for that block.
So there's a long list of them on this OU roster, but another McDonald's All-American going to the free throw line right now for Coach Baranczyk. And that is Sahara Williams, one of 4 McDonald's All-Americans on this Sooners ball club. And the free throw is good. So 20-5 as Oklahoma opens up a 15-point lead. Henry down the baseline, had a good look at it. Oklahoma wants to push pace. Williams to Van, Zaya Van in the lane, off the glass and good.
That's definitely the pace that Oklahoma State is gonna want to play at. They're just so quick. They don't need to get into an offensive set. So again, that's why Coppin State just needs to get back and clog up that lane.
9 points for Van. Oklahoma leads by 17. And knocked away by Sahara Williams. Verhulst. And as Beers comes out to shoot the 3, off the mark. And McBride ahead to Burris. Cut off at the baseline, but a nice pass, but blocked by Beers as Wachaka was sprinting to the basket. A little over a minute left here in the opening quarter. 5 on the shot clock for Coppin State. Morris spinning. Shot altered by Verhulst and into the hands of Beers. Van, same spot, not this time.
They're gonna wanna they have to get out on there. I know that they're focused on Beers right now, but Van has hurt them so much already. They need to now make sure that they're paying attention. I know she was on the weak side, but Oklahoma likes to do those skip passes.
Blocked from behind that time by Van. Boy, she has been a huge part of this first quarter for the Sooners. Look at the move to the basket. Can't finish. Ball still loose, though, under there. And a tie-up underneath between Lofton and McBride. Win of the game for Oklahoma is Stewart, replacing Sahara Williams. Sooners with 20 on the shot clock, about a 6-second difference between that and the game clock. Van backs it out. 10 to shoot. Van has Lofton off the mark. Rebound by Morris with 4 seconds. Morris on the floor and a tie up again. It's going to stay with Coppin State with a second and a half left.
And Coppin State just needs to recognize those solid defensive possessions that they're having. That was great hedging on the guard, getting up on her, so that way you know she's looking to dump it back down. All they did was jump up in her face just enough to where it's not clean passing by Oklahoma. You're just disrupting enough where you can get steals, get rebounds, a bad shot, and get back down on the other end.
Zaya Van again disrupting on that inbounds pass. Took some time off the clock, and that will do it for the first quarter. And it's been, as expected, all Oklahoma to this point as the 9th-ranked Sooners
go a long way, because all right now, a lot of the shots that got blocked are kind of just going at it. It's not a very aggressive like layup. It's kind of haphazard. So if they just keep going strong, and a couple of shot fakes would actually help out.
12 points off 10 Coppin State turnovers so far for Oklahoma. And the size of Oklahoma, tough to deal with here so far for the Eagles. Chavez with the basketball as we're underway here in the second quarter. Van. And traveling is the call against Zaya Van. Van, the leading scorer in this game so far. She has 9 points. Chavez with 7 and Sahara Williams with 6 for OU. And some pressure as Oklahoma backs off. The winner of this game will take on Florida State in the championship game of the Great Egret Division. Shot no good from Burris.
Despite that being a missed shot, Morris finally did. She rejected the screen and did a back cut, and that's how she got that pass and right back out for an open shot. That's what they need to keep doing.
Beers with a good look under there, and she misses it, and Paris McBride not missing on her end. She hits the 3, and it's 22-8. Quickly the other way, all the way around and out, but Van is there for the putback.
Again, it's that skip pass that kind of keeps getting them caught up. They're a little bit slow on rotation, but I can't blame them because they are so focused on Beers in the center and just not allowing anything easy to come into her.
Out of bounds off of Morris, and Oklahoma will get it back in another turnover for Coppin State, their 11th turnover so far in this first half. Chavez pulls up for 3. McBride let the defender get in the air. Nice move by McBride. She is a crafty player out here. 8 points for McBride. And Coppin State hands in the passing lane for the Sooners, and they turn it over. Chavez, check that Van missing from the outside. Beers is there, and she draws the foul from Sosa Laura.
I mean, they are really doing solid on defense, on recognizing the personnel that is on the floor right now. Even that layup right there for Beers was still not easy for her. She still was pretty far underneath the basket, and Sosa Laura, that's a solid defense possession right there, just straight up, but tough. You got an All-American center coming at you.
Yeah. She misses from Beers so far, has not scored yet. 0 for 3 from the field and gets one on the first free throw. And Beers makes both of those. She averages 19 points a game, 3 straight 20-point double-doubles for Beers. As time goes by, she will get hers tonight.
Absolutely, but if you can delay it as long as you can, that is a win for Coppin State.
Yep, and Morris hitting a mid-range jumper, that's another win. And it's 26-12. Beers to Williams. Williams can't get the roll. Beers right there, the bucket and the foul, and that is the Reagan Beers effect.
She is just so good because, again, somebody has got to get a body. You're either pushing her underneath the basket, out to the side, anywhere. She cannot just sit on that block and have nobody kind of right there. Even another double team. Morris, if she can just get a little closer to her too, that layup is not as easy.
Errol Mosley, his team trying to hang in there here in the first half against the talented and big Oklahoma ball club. Talk about all the McDonald's All-Americans that Coach Baranchik has brought in here at OU. Along the baseline, falling to the ground, but getting it to Burris, and Coppin State keeps the possession alive. McBride pulls up. An air ball that time, and it's going to be last touched by Coppin State. And it'll be Oklahoma basketball.
I know McBride has hit a couple from outside right now. I almost would like to see that screen at the top there be set a little bit closer to the three-point line so she's not starting so far out and trying to just get closer play to the basket.
Verhulst, step back, and hits the three. And Peyton Verhulst is on the board with her first points. 32-12, and OU already out in front by 20. Adderley penetrates in and will go to the free throw line. Jordan Adderley, a Philly kid, just a freshman. And a lot.
Just a great job to stick with that too. Again, that's a tough player. And Oklahoma's definitely trying to get blocks. They're trying to get steals. And if you keep going just as hard, you're going to get some of those fouls that you've been getting called on the other end. So go back at them the way that they're coming at you too.
Short on the first free throw by Adderley. I think a lot of her at Coppin State and her future. A 5'10" guard, and makes one of two. Talk about the four McDonald's All-Americans on OU's roster. Sahara Williams, Aaliyah Chavez, Peyton Verhulst, who hit that shot a moment ago, and of course, Reagan Beers. That is stacked talent for sure in Norman, Oklahoma. And losing the handle is Morris, and it'll go back to Oklahoma. 6:25 left here in the second quarter. Not a huge surprise to see the Sooners jumping out in front like they have, 32-13. And Williams with the turnaround, knocked out of, well, it was saved. It didn't go out. Thought it hit near the end line. And put up and in is Culleton. Beatrice Culleton with her first points.
Again, Oklahoma is just so tall and so fast that they are just looking. If a shot goes up, somebody is flying in and crashing. Coppin State, again, just has to focus on finding a white jersey and putting a body on them as many times as you can.
McBride out to Skylar Barnes. Just a little long on that three-point attempt. Chavez pulls up on the blocks.
If they can keep forcing those type of plays and getting back down and actually scoring something or getting a foul, getting to the free throw line, again, they can start chipping at this lead.
Kyla Morris started her career at Troy before transferring to Coppin State. And a foul on Oklahoma, I think Beatrice Culleton inside.
And again, that screen was set just a little bit lower than the last one at the top. So Morris had a quicker turn and she was already in the paint going off right there. Just hovering on that three-point line instead of being one step outside of it helps your guard so much more. And now you're getting a foul on Oklahoma.
They go over the top to Barnes. Coach Mosley was looking for a timeout, but they did get it in time. Underneath, taken away, grabbed back by
Your turn.
Coppin State, and a stoppage in play. So there's 4 seconds on the shot clock. And that's going to take us for the moment to the media timeout as we get this sorted out with 4:57 left in the second quarter. The Sooners leading by 21. As the number 9 team in the country has looked pretty impressive so far. In a comfortable lead over Coppin State, 34-13. There's just under 5 minutes left here in the first half. And Amber, what impresses you the most about the Sooners ball club?
It's just that if one person like Beers is not getting the looks that she's used to, there are 4 other players just on the ready to go. Anybody can have a night, and that's what makes it so fun to watch Oklahoma, because it doesn't matter who they're facing right now. They're still going all out for everything, like they are playing the number 1 team.
Inside Beers. And the Sooners out of there with it. Ahead it goes. And an easy bucket for Kaya Smith, the Oklahoma City kid. And Smith on the board. Paris McBride, she's got 8 points to lead the Eagles. 8 of their 13. Working against Aaliyah Chavez. 6 on the shot clock. Gotta go. McBride around Chavez. Just couldn't get enough on it, and Beers nearly throws it away. And collision there near half court. Everybody is okay.
When Coppin State gets kind of stuck like that, where Bush is just, you can tell she's definitely wanting to wait for a lower screen right there. But they also just has to keep being movement on the off side too.
In the hands of McBride. Around to Barnes. Barnes penetrating, little off balance. Beers is there to collect. A rebounding machine is Reagan Beers. Chavez stumbled and is fouled. Skylar Barnes commits her first foul. Stops at Southeast Missouri State and Morehead State, and a bucket by Verhulst. Her second field goal of the game. And the lead now out to 25 points for the 9th-ranked Sooners. And pass off the mark, intended for Adderley. And Coppin State commits its 14th turnover here in the first half.
Again, in Oklahoma, it's just every possession they get down, they're running it, and someone is just always ready to score.
Wow, Beers to Verhulst, a bullet pass. Whizzing right past the heads of the Coppin State players, and it's 40-13 Oklahoma. Morris off the glass and in. Kyla Morris. Look at how quickly Oklahoma gets down the floor, and Beers will go to the free throw line.
And that is the pace that they just love to play in, because they just have, again, so many options. You've got 3 guards, 4, honestly, that can sprint down the court. Yeah. Beers is right there. She can trail behind and be at the top of the key or at the free throw line. It's just like never-ending options.
Beers was able to get all the way under the basket on that break.
And she's been under there a couple of times now, and I just think Coppin State, again, can recognize that she's so far out and play as straight up as you can. Make her come into you and possibly get an offensive charge.
Beers with 6 points, already 7 rebounds for her. And now 7 and 7. And Beers checks out. Brooklyn Stewart, the freshman, comes in, and this freshman, Brooklyn Stewart, number 21, plays with a lot of joy and energy. Very infectious, her spirit, according to the team. Really has rubbed off on her teammates. McBride, too much size to deal with right there, and it goes out of bounds.
And just in something like there where McBride is caught down there, she needs to have somebody either filling to the corner or filling to the wing. Again, somebody set a down screen away from the ball so that we can get some motion coming up to there and just filling into the empty spots.
Chavez ahead, Stewart gets the roll. Stewart just into the game, the freshman we were just talking about, and gets the quick bucket. And it's 44-15. Chavez commits the foul. Well, Oklahoma ranked 9th in the AP poll, 4 straight weeks in the top 10. They've been ranked in the top 25 somewhere for 33 consecutive weeks. Getting out-rebounded right now by Coppin State. And Oklahoma leads the nation in rebounding.
And that, again, regardless of how this game ends up, there are a lot of benefits and great moments that Coppin State can go back to film and watch. Again, like you just said, this is a leading rebounding team of the nation, and you are out-rebounding them right now. That's huge. Beers coming in, 3 straight doubles, 20 points plus, like, that's incredible. The way that they have kind of cut into exactly what the scouting report is by coaches has been great.
Free throw good for Jordan Adderley. More for Adderley, and she makes them both. 44-17 as we dip under 2 minutes to play in the opening half. Inside out, that pass from Williams had nobody on the other end of it. Harris McBride. Done a good job of quarterbacking this team against a much larger opponent. McBride trying to get inside. So tough when you've got the size of players like Peyton Verhulst, who gets the block. Verhulst, second team All-SEC.
And then when they're pushing those post players out so far past the three-point line, that's what makes it harder for the guards to really get into the paint.
McBride from up top for three. All the way around and out. Verhulst pulls the trigger and hits the three for Oklahoma. Verhulst now with 10 points into double figures. Peyton Verhulst, incidentally, the only player in the country this year with a double-double in under 20 minutes. Less than a minute to play. And nowhere for Morris to go. Last touch, though, by OU.
Oklahoma just everybody on offense does a great job. Again, it's not a ton of picks and off the ball screens. They're just doing a great job at just kind of landing in the open spot.
And a foul. We're going to put Morris on the free throw line. Emma Tolan, the freshman for Oklahoma, picks up the foul. Kyla Morris, 6 made threes on the season. Good defender, 10 steals coming into this game. And remember the tough schedule that Coppin State has played so far. Just a murderous schedule. Power 5 teams, Arizona State, Ohio State, Penn State, Tennessee, and now Oklahoma. Brutal.
I mean, all those teams are definitely going to test you. I mean,
yes.
Physically, emotionally. And again, that's just what you also want to see, how your team is responding in tough situations like this.
Out of bounds, back to Coppin State. And Coach Jenny Baranczyk not happy right now with the Sooners. "11-second difference, game clock to shot clock as Coppin State brings it down. Last couple of possessions here of the first half. Henry for three, no, but the hustle play, and it's tracked down by Burris to keep the possession alive. Gotta love the effort by the Eagles, but the size of Williams takes it away, intercepts the pass, and scores the bucket. And McBride went up onto the scorer's table.
It's tough because I remember these frustrations where, you know, that could be an offensive foul where she's kind of extending her arm a little bit. Yes, is McBride outsized there? And I think sometimes that's what refs maybe judge it by, but it gets frustrating as a player where you maybe feel like the fouls that you're getting on your end aren't happening over there, but it's also what happens when you're playing a really good team that you're outsized by, and they just kind of chalk it up with, like, you're just completely outsized and you're out of controls, and that's also another factor.
So we walk it down the other way, and McBride's going to go to the free throw line. Harris McBride from Richmond, Virginia. Quarterback of this basketball team. Talented, seasoned senior. Made the first free throw, and he's got one more coming. And good stroke, makes them both. 47-21, final possession of the half. As Oklahoma comes down, Chavez has got it with 7. Chavez into the lane, puts it up, no good. Tolan's got it. And they don't get the second shot up in time. And that does it for the first half here at Geico Coconut Hoops. Your 9th ranked Oklahoma Sooners leading Coppin State at the break 47-21. to 21. We'll be back to Waliko Arena with halftime festivities shortly. Stay with us. At Peyton Verhulst and the Oklahoma Sooners, 2 quarters away from a spot in the championship game as we get underway here in the third quarter at Geico Coconut Hoops, and a quick bucket for Coppin State to get started here in the third quarter. Oklahoma works it around quickly. Beers is there for the rebound on the missed shot by Verhulst and puts it back up and in. And a steal, turnover number 16 for the Eagles. Williams takes it back to Van. Williams down the baseline and easily off the glass.
And that's just what's so dangerous about Williams. She's so quick. She can anticipate the pass, and she can also post a lot of guards up. So they just have to, again, be ready to not be where she's at. They gotta like pass fakes. They gotta be cutting into their defender like that, not just thinking that you can come straight to the ball.
And that pass right to Van, who intercepts it and takes it all the way for the hoop. 55 to 23.
Again, Coppin State's first possession, they were actually setting screens inside of that three-point line. They were doing dribble handoffs. Morris rejected the screen and split the 2. That's what they need to start doing more, is working against what they are giving you. If they're gonna hedge out fast, back cut. Make them second guess what they're doing.
Verhulst wide open is Williams off the back iron. Bump, and Williams is going to pick up the foul. The Sooners. And into the game for Coppin State comes Aaron Henry. Go up over the top. Van with a hand in the passing lane knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with Coppin State, but constant harassment on defense by these Sooners, making life so difficult for the Eagles.
And to just make it easier on themselves, all it takes is kind of taking your player 2 steps down and away, going into them and taking a hard cut out. There's just too much of this running straight to the ball, and the Oklahoma player is just cutting them off every time.
Nope. Nice ball fake by Morris. Misses the shot. Outlet pass, and that one goes over the head of everyone. 2 minutes gone, third quarter. This is Oklahoma's first trip to the state of Florida since last season. They came to Gainesville and beat Florida last year. That was their first year in the SEC. And Chavez, aggressive defensively, commits the foul. Kaya Smith, not seen much of her yet, comes into the game for Oklahoma. Harris McBride. Aaron Henry going to launch from long range, and an air ball. Good look for her. It's way off the mark. We talked about the tough schedule for Coppin State so far. Smith took her eye off the ball right there and lost it out of bounds.
Oklahoma has gotten into a couple of these turnovers where it really hasn't been Coppin State that's done anything. It's just Oklahoma.
The Sooners continuing to harass. They'll get the basketball back. Sooners fans in the house supporting the 9th-ranked team in the country. Chavez pulls up, tries to get the roll, bounces around. Beers with the rebound. Chavez one more time. It's off the mark. continuing to dominate the offensive boards is Oklahoma. Another chance for Chavez, this time in the paint, and it's perfect.
And that is hard as a team. One shot miss, they get the rebound again, a second chance, a third chance. Obviously, when you get 3 to 4 chances on one offensive possession, one of them is going to eventually fall. Again, they just have to focus on rebounding again and finding a white jersey and putting a body on him.
Gamble still in the backcourt. It's 5-on-4 for Oklahoma. Beers finds Smith. Easy pickings, and Kaya Smith lays it in. And a timeout, 59-23 now in favor of Oklahoma. Coach Jenny Baranczyk coming into Coconut Hoops with 2 wins shy of 300. She wins this one and potentially the championship on Sunday, and she will hit 300 for her career. We'll step aside and come back to Geico Coconut Hoops in a moment. An embarrassment of riches for Coach Baranczyk. So much talent, 4 McDonald's All-Americans. You can go just about anywhere you want for a bucket. And the team seems to like each other, too. They get along well. They play together with joy. I don't know. You should know better than anybody. That can take you a long way in the game of basketball.
It can. And what's great is sometimes good teams struggle against not higher-ranked teams, maybe mid-major teams, where they kind of come into the game expecting the win already, and that's where teams take advantage of higher-ranked teams. But today, they just have done a really great job at just sticking with it and trusting each other.
Lofton ahead to Chavez. She pulls up just inside the three-point line, and it's rebounded by Burris of Coppin State. Somebody lost a sneaker. So who's without one right now?
I did have to look for a second.
It's number 20, Aaron Henry for Coppin State. Sneaker was still in the backcourt. Henry was all the way up here in the front court.
I appreciate the dedication.
Absolutely.
We're leaving it behind.
Yeah.
I can still play with one shoe.
She was kind of like, hey, I don't want to hold you guys up or anything.
Just ignore it.
Yeah. Gotta love it. So, 10 feet, 10 shoes. And a pull-up by McBride. It's short. She gets her own rebound. Back outside to Morris. Eagles trying to stop a drought in over 3 minutes. And a foul committed by Aaliyah Chavez.
And just good job by Gamble to square up to the hoop and see what she's got working with. She didn't immediately put it on the floor. She didn't immediately get the shot. She just took that time, turn around, see that Beers is going out to the right there, and that left-hand lane is open.
The turnover for Coppin State. Pass inside to Verhulst. This is a talented player off the back iron. And we'll head the other way. Interesting, there's number 12, Verhulst of Oklahoma. Last season versus 13th ranked Duke, Verhulst joined Caitlin Clark as one of only 2 players with a 25-point triple-double against a ranked opponent since 1999. That's putting up some numbers.
It's not bad company to be with either.
Not at all. We're coming up on 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Putting it on the deck. Driving in is Burris off the iron. Verhulst guns it down to the corner. Now up to Smith. No good. And a fight for it. Colleton on the deck. And immediate timeout will take us to the break. And Geico Coconut Hoop. That would be the Oklahoma Sooners right now, leading Coppin State 59-23. Sooners coming in 5-1. Their only loss was a couple of weeks ago. They went out to California, not in Pauley Pavilion in LA, but on a neutral site, lost to third-ranked UCLA. But other than that, it's been all wins for Oklahoma. Bride back to Morris. Morris with Lofton out on her. Penetrating in, just losing the handle on the basketball was Gamble. McBride on the loose ball, diving on the deck to try to get that 50-50 ball.
Now that Oklahoma has switched into a zone right now, Coppin State needs to focus on trying to get some in and out. They have to get somebody touching the ball inside the paint at the free throw line, because that is what kind of destroys a defense that's in like a 1-3-1 that Oklahoma's in right now. Working inside and not just allowing them to keep you out of the three-point line.
Wiping up some perspiration on the floor. So, long day of basketball, a quadruple header today here at Coconut Hoops. We started earlier with 10th ranked Iowa State, got us started with a 84-73 win over Marquette, followed by Indiana defeating Gonzaga 76-72. Florida State took care of Missouri State in a close one, 85-75. The Lady Bears hung in there late. Now 9th ranked Oklahoma looking good against Coppin State, but a three ball goes down for Kyla Morris, the senior from the Bronx, for the Eagles. Needed a bucket, it's been a while. And all the way goes Sahara Williams. Averaging 12 points, 10 rebounds a game is Williams. He's got 14 and 7 tonight.
I would say to guard Williams right now, let her shoot that. Stay on your feet and make her score from the outside and not be able to dribble inside.
And a free ball from the corner from Aaron Henry. So offense on 2 consecutive possessions for Coppin State. Same though for Oklahoma. Brooklyn Stewart, the freshman from Colorado Springs. Teammates love her. She plays with a lot of just joy and energy, very infectious out there.
And she's got great communication on defense and on offense. She demands the ball, she calls for it, but she's also talking on defense, letting teammates know where the screen is, what side it's coming on.
Zaya Van missing. Gamble's got it for Coppin State. That's a tie-up. It'll stay with Oklahoma.
But that was just a great job by Gamble. Boxing out, she pushed her out, and that opens up the paint so there's not 4 jerseys inside. But also somebody else needs to recognize that she's working so hard to push her defender out. Somebody needs to crash with her.
Into Culleton. Chasing it down, and it's going to belong to Coppin State. You got to love the effort. For a team that is down by 36, still going after balls like that.
And that's what you love to see in a team. Despite what the score is, you are still going all out. You're sticking to the game plan. You're communicating with each other. Nobody's getting down and getting mad at each other. They're running to each other. They're picking each other up. No one is allowing themselves to get up on their own.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to serve Coppin State well when they get into conference play in the MEAC. In a month or so, Williams knocking it down from the middle of the floor. Sahara Williams now with 16 points. She is the leading scorer in this ball game. Burris in traffic. Here's Aaron Henry. Tries to skip past it. Intercepted by Keziah Lofton. And Lofton taking it in with the left hand. Great move by Lofton. Another one of the fabulous freshmen on this team.
That should be exciting as a team, as a coach, where you're seeing your underclassmen are solid. So you just can only imagine what they'll be like in 2-3 years.
And out of control. Ball out of bounds. Replacements coming in for OU. Chavez, Beers, and Verhulst. But the veterans on this Oklahoma team we talked about, so good. Verhulst, obviously Sahara Williams, Reagan Beers, but this freshman class, they've got a top 15 recruiting class that Baranczyk has brought in here. And they're making an impact, and they are the future of this Sooners program, and the future looks bright for OU. They're not going anywhere. Van from long range, short, saved. Another chance from out there. Beers with another offensive rebound, and finds Verhulst. Chavez, now one of the fabulous freshmen. National Freshman of the Year candidate, hits from the corner.
And I love that she is just not afraid to keep shooting. And that's what makes us shooter so good, is that confidence that it's like, whatever, I don't care that I missed a couple. As long as my team keeps feeding me the ball and I'm wide open, why not?
That's what they tell great shooters who are missing. Just keep shooting. You'll work your way out of it. 6 on the shot clock for Coppin State. And somebody's got to shoot it down here. McBride, the one to do it, off the rim. And the last 25 seconds of the quarter, Oklahoma not waiting for anything. And a fight for it in the backcourt, and a tie-up. And it will belong to Coppin State with 14.1 left in the third.
I mean, one thing this Coppin State team can absolutely take away from this game is how great they did on Beers. She is still in single digits right now with only 9 points. Granted, she's got 13 rebounds, but we said it before. This is a player that knows how to get her numbers, whether it's on scoring end, rebounding end, steals, blocks. She just does it. It doesn't matter that she wasn't scoring. She was still there for her team, ready to screen, solid screens, ready to rebound, just communicating.
Morris, 2 seconds. McBride puts it up, gets it off in time, and just comes off the rim. So after 3 quarters, Oklahoma continuing to look dominant. They lead Coppin State 72-29. As we take a break from Geico Cook, the loser of this one will take on Missouri State in the consolation game on Sunday at 4 p.m. 4 players in double figures scoring for Oklahoma, led by Sahara Williams with 16, Zaya Van 13, Chavez with 12, Verhulst with 10, and Reagan Beers, well, there's another 2 for Sahara Williams, so now she's got 18. Reagan Beers, incidentally, 1 point away from getting to double figures in scoring. She's already got the 13 rebounds, so just that much closer to yet another double-double for her. To the line goes Sahara Williams to try to complete the 3-point play, and she does. 75-29, but we saw a quick shot there of Daryl Mosley, the head coach of Coppin State. Got to be proud of his team. No matter what the scoreboard says, this team comes out and is fighting for every 50-50 ball, playing a full 40 minutes, and again, tough to combat the size of Oklahoma, yes, but this type of effort and playing against the tough teams that they're playing against here in the non-conference will definitely help them come time to join the MEAC conference schedule.
Especially like when you find yourselves maybe down, maybe not at this big of a gap, but you know that your team is still willing to fight. You know your players are willing to throw themselves on the floor for that free ball, and that goes a long way in games that end up being close. But right now, I would say something that they can work on right now for the rest of this game is trying to get Oklahoma out of the paint. Do not allow 2 feet to touch inside, because there's a stark difference right now. Oklahoma has 40 points in the paint compared to Coppin State's 6. So if there's something that they want to change and look at right now, look how you can do them just forcing them outside.
75-30. Nice play by McBride to come from behind to make the block on Zaya Van.
And Sosa Laura did great at meeting Beers, not down low at the free throw line. So that just took her out right there.
Check that. The block was against Kaya Smith. Verhulst from the baseline. Reagan Beers with another rebound. And Beers into Verhulst. Tapped around and out of bounds. OU will keep it. Talk about how even the rebounding was a little bit earlier on between these two. Oklahoma leads the nation in rebounding as another shot good by Williams. She continues to fill it up, 21 for Williams, but now Oklahoma's rebounding they put some space in between them and Coppin State. Now over 40 rebounds to 28.
And that's just what makes them a dominant team, is that even though it was a little close, they are never slowing down, they're never stopping, and they're just going to keep going at you, and they're wearing you down. Because if you see with the sub difference too, they can send in 3 players on one substitution, and that is 3 different players coming in fresh.
And when Oklahoma substitute, there is not a whole heck of a lot of drop-off. Beers from up top, and there's a double-double for Beers. And she's got 11 points. Now, she's had 3 straight 20-point double-doubles, so she may not get to the 20 points tonight. But McBride short from long range. Verhulst into Beers. Fight for it. It'll belong to Coppin State.
You can tell Beers just is so determined to get down low into that paint and just body someone and get that ball, because again, she's great one-on-one. There's not many people that can defend her down there. So that's why Sosa Laura just has to keep up. It's not an easy ask, but just keep her as up and towards that free throw line as you can.
McBride, good quarterback of this Coppin State offense, no doubt. Tries to swing it back over to Adderley, but Oklahoma had defenders in the way. And bodies on the floor. And it'll go back to Oklahoma on the alternating possession.
There was just on that offensive possession for Coppin State, way too much standing around. I know that they're waiting for the screen, but again, too much standing happening.
Beers off the glass and in, and she draws the foul. Patricia Sosa Laura is going to be the guilty party on that one.
It's tough. I mean, you're doing everything you can. You're right there. It's just tough. That's why, again, she's an All-American center.
Yeah. Sosa Laura, incidentally, had 10 rebounds against the Lady Vols in that last loss. And Beers completes the three-point play. 14 points, 14 rebounds for Beers. Good look by McBride. Nobody open in the backcourt, and she fires it up and finds Sosa Laura. Tapped away again. More great defense from the Sooners. Verhulst, quick release. McBride for three. Back iron. Culleton snares the rebound. Culleton, the give and go with Van. She scores, and now we'll go to the line.
That's just another great thing that they just know how to finish, regardless of who's kind of fouling them, all that. Hard cuts, taking advantage of the weak side defense, not dropping in, and just knowing that that lane is right there, and they're going for the and one.
And I just want to go back to just watching the Oklahoma players play with each other out there on the floor. Very much a family feel between each of the players.
It is. Every substitution, there's a high five. Every dead ball, somebody's communicating with each other. It's almost like that's bred into this team where it's like, hey, we got to stick together no matter what at all times.
A lot of love out there. Under 7 minutes left, 85-30. Verhulst on the blocks. Adderley came over and nearly had the block, but does commit the foul. 3 fouls on Adderley. Kaya Smith comes out for OU. Tolan comes in. Emma Tolan, a freshman, number 10, just came in. She's from Ireland. Verhulst connects on the free throws. And here is McBride. What a workhorse point guard for Coppin State. And the three is good. McBride trying to do everything she can to keep Coppin State pushing forward here, and hits the three. She's got 13. Timeout on the floor with 6 State. Number 0, who just hit the three-pointer, has 14 points. And Amber Paris McBride has played every minute. Never gone out of this game.
I mean, just the way that she's playing, it's hard to take such a dominant player out right now. She's doing everything. She's handling the ball. She's knocking down threes. She's getting to the hole. She's getting fouled. She's getting free throws. And Morris is right behind her. She's sat a minute maybe at total.
Yep.
So you knew those two players are really who this team relies on. But that's just a fabulous job to see two players, again, going that hard for this long.
Right. Morris looking back for Sosa-Lora, but a little too tall on that pass.
Good idea, though. I like that idea where it's just a different look that we kind of haven't seen, where Morris is taking it to the left side to hit it, to send it back to the right side with Sosa-Lora.
Here comes Chavez down in the blocks. Gets a nice roll. Aaliyah Chavez with 14 points. Over to McBride. Now Morris. Those are really the two workhorses for Coppin State, as you mentioned, in terms of number of minutes. With a collision at midcourt. That's going to be a blocking foul against Mikkel Lowry, the sophomore.
I like the idea, though, of meeting some of these post players up and catching them off guard. Call didn't go your way, but there's plenty of times where you've just seen that, where Oklahoma's kind of just not really truly been in control of the ball, and you've had that opportunity. Not a bad idea.
Much respect to go up there and take that contact. Often missing on the free throw.
That is their first missed free throw today.
They were 11 of 11 up to that point. 12 of 13. Inside, Burris draws the foul. And that's against Reagan Beers. Beers transferred in from Oregon State year before last. All SEC, All-American. But commits the foul here, and Sydney Burris, who also is a transfer at the free throw line, a senior for Coppin State. Kid from Milwaukee, started her college career at UNC Asheville. Now is playing for Coach Mosley. And Burris makes the free throw. Incidentally, Sydney Burris's mother, a two-sport star in college, basketball and volleyball, as Lofton has it go over her head. And the Sooners turn it over. They have not turned it over very many times. That's only the 9th turnover for Oklahoma in this game.
And that's just another problem that Coppin State's had. The turnovers that Oklahoma hasn't been much. They've been few and far between. But then when they do turn it over, they are locked in on defense and ready for a stop. They don't compile here.
A three from the corner is good for McBride, and she's got 17. Off the mark, a weak side rebound taken by Stewart. Tolan from up top, three. And that gets the Sooner bench going off their feet. The young lady from Ireland.
And that's also why you can tell the chemistry on this team is also deadly, you know, because everybody is excited for everybody to succeed, and that is what makes a great team, that it doesn't matter whose night it is, everyone's ready to cheer you on.
Miss three, but tracking the miss down. Lowry, another look at it, and a timeout is called for by Daryl Mosley. 30-second timeout taken by Coach Mosley, and Coppin State with 4:06 remaining. Paris McBride from Richmond, Virginia, played every single solitary second of this game. She has 17, and there's Tolan from up top, the freshman from across the pond. So the Sooners, as they start to think about Florida State in the finals on Sunday night. It'll be an interesting matchup. Nice spin in the lane. Burris couldn't get it to fall. Chavez throws that one away. Sloppy play that time by Chavez.
And just great job by Coppin State kind of sagging in on their players. And that's what Oklahoma has taken advantage of a lot today, is just the spreading out that Coppin State and the losing on the inside.
Yeah. Paris McBride. Work around Morris, draws the foul. Stewart commits the foul. That is her second. Chavez checks out. Smith comes in for Oklahoma. Kylie Gary Grayson, a freshman for Coppin State, comes into the game. Morris connects on the free throw. All smiles over there on that Sooners bench. Morris makes the free throw. 93-39. Knocked out of bounds, lost by Oklahoma. We'll be back in the direction of Coppin State. And McBride, who just checked out of the game for the first time for a brief moment, is back in.
She got that sip of water and it came right back in. I'm fine, Coach.
On the pass just over the head of Mikkel Lowry.
I really think this is something that the coaches are really going to take the time and film and show their players how they've come at these passes. A lot of these turnovers and steals that they've run into is just because they are not going into their player and coming out. They're not being open. They just think that running towards the ball is going to be enough. And when you're facing a number 9 ranked Oklahoma team, that's just not good enough.
Kick by Burris. I like the way this Coppin State team plays together. So, picked to finish 6th in the MEAC. I don't know.
And it's hard being this together and keep fighting together like this when there's 14 newcomers for this Coppin State team. So again, a lot of getting to know each other, figuring out how each other plays, but just a great job at staying together and working through it.
Yeah. Well, they turned it over 36 times in the last game against Tennessee, which led to 57 balls points. They are not turning it over quite as many tonight, only 25, and 31 points off of those turnovers for OU. Stewart off the back iron. But this Oklahoma team is loaded.
And they are dangerous from the inside. 46 points inside the paint compared to Coppin State 6. But again, great focus by Oklahoma to keep Coppin State out of there, and a great job by them making sure they get inside.
Yeah. From the corner, 3 is just short by Mikkel Lowry. Inside of 3 minutes. Knocked away by Kyla Morris. And taken back away by Kaya Smith. And she'll easily lay it in. Ought to be an interesting matchup between Oklahoma and Florida State. Similar sizes.
But I'm curious how the pace is going to be. I think Florida State's a little bit, I don't know if slower is the correct word, but their pace is just not as fast as Oklahoma. So are they going to be able to stop that early and kind of get into their rhythm, maybe slow Oklahoma down, or is Oklahoma just going to run them out of the gym?
Well, not too many teams do have as fast a pace as Oklahoma. Second fastest pace in the country. They average about 80 possessions a game. Also ranked 10th in the nation in fast break points with 18 a game. And they are sitting on 19 fast break points in this one. So right about on brand for them.
And that's hard too when you're on the opposite team and you don't have a single fast break point right now, because again, that wears you down, where it's just you're fighting so hard only for Oklahoma to send a few passes for a wide open layup.
Pass inside. And there's an OU turnover. Morris back the other way. Finding Gary Grayson, the freshman. Taken in there by Stewart. And she and Burris tumble to the deck.
And Coppin State's doing a good job at being selective on their shot. That's a great job, recognizing that they're going to fly out at you and just do a quick one dribble to your left and get it inside shot. You didn't make it, but those are what help get you back into a game too.
Culleton checks out for Oklahoma. Burris back to Morris. 10 on the shot clock. 6 to shoot. Morris, got to put it up. That's a 3, missed. And Smith has the fast break pass broken up, but she recovers, gets it to Stewart for 2.
That's tough. Burris did a great job getting back there, got a hand in that pass. She's done that a few times now, but, you know, that's hard when Oklahoma's got 3 players already back there ready to grab that.
So Oklahoma, after the Florida State game on Sunday, the rest of their non-conference schedule, they'll have NC State, who's ranked 25th in the country, on December the 3rd. Maryland Eastern Shore, Little Rock, another ranked game. Bedlam versus Oklahoma State, ranked 24th in the country on December 13th, and then North Carolina Central. Before starting SEC play New Year's Day at Texas A&M. So a couple more ranked teams for OU in the non-conference. And the free throw good from Burris. Foul called inside, and that'll put Keziah Lofton, another one of those talented freshmen, on the free throw line. Lofton from Bethany, Oklahoma. There she is. And misses on the free throw. Part of the future of this program, though, right there. Lofton with 2 points tonight.
Box.
Rebound by Burris. Inside of a minute left. Penetrating into the hands of Gamble. Gamble puts it up and in with 45.7 left. Coppin State playing to the buzzer. Inside to Stewart, and she draws the contact. That'll be a foul against Jordan Adderley.
I mean, even with the lead that Oklahoma has right now, again, what makes them such a good team is that you can't tell that they're up. Like, they are still playing at a level where you would think Coppin State's almost like 2 points behind them. Every single person is playing at a high energy game. They're taking good shots. They're running good offense. Everybody's getting into 2 feet into the paint. They're just doing everything. They're still rebounding. They're still boxing out. They're still following the scout. They're knowing who to match up on. And that just, again, is what makes such a good team.
And the Sooners hit the century mark. Smith gonna pull it up with the shot clock off. And that's where it's gonna be. And Coach Mosley tells his team to back off, no fouls. And that's where we will end this thing. Gutty performance by Coppin State tonight. But 9th-ranked Oklahoma looking like one of the top teams in the country. They defeat Coppin State by a final score of 100-46. An impressive performance. Coach Baranchik greeting the Coppin State players. And Oklahoma State advances, advances to the championship of the Great Egret Division on Sunday night at 6:30. And they will take on Florida State. We'll have it for you right here on Flow College. Coppin State will take on Missouri State in the consolation game. That happens a little bit earlier on Sunday at 4 p.m. Amber, your final thoughts on how impressed you are tonight with the Sooners?
I just think they are a phenomenal team, and they're going to be fun to watch and follow all year long. Just a great job responding, staying strong throughout 40 minutes, and never losing sight of the mission, and that's walking away with a win.
Sahara Williams led the way with 21 points for Oklahoma. They defeat Coppin State 100-46, and